I think, and our research and analysis to this point tells us that it's a very big opportunity. And I'll give you just at least a few reasons why we think so. Firstly, there's the whole point, or the whole push in from lots of different vendors around putting things in the hands of people so that they can get what they want when they want it, kind of thing. So there's this general thing out there that says instant gratification isn't fast enough. So there's kind of an underlying sense of you got to have it now. On demand movies, and it just, I think it's just going to snowball from here. So if you take that as kind of an overarching thing where we're convincing people from just about every marketing and advertising dimension possible that you got to have it now. There's sort of this pass-through effect. What an on-demand suite of products does for us is it allows, and importantly, I should mention, it's not an exclusive thing, right? Everything that we do today, we're going to continue to do 10 years from now. We're going to augment with software as a service, software as a platform, work through service providers, and sort of adopt a suite of alternate delivery models, because it makes sense to do it. The trick is to engineer the products in such a way as that you're not bifurcating the product lines. You don't have the Clarity SaaS version and the Clarity license on-premise version. You've got one version of Clarity. It's fully multi-tenant. If we want to install it, or a customer wants to install it, they go do it. The service provider wants to buy it and offer it as a service, they can go do it. If we want to host it and offer it, we can go do it. What it does, though, is it gives people a live version of a proof of concept. Many customers are choosing to go with on-demand versions of products. I think we're going to find ourselves being pulled down that path, because there's no downside for them. They pay a small amount of money to get a small number of seats up and running. They invest in some training, and they start building content. And if there's value, and we of course want there to be value, then they can make a decision. They can add more seats. They can decide to host in-house. They can go to a provider. But the good news is all their content just floats. It just goes to whatever the persistent implementation or persistent usage model is going to be. That's part of the design center. It's like you've got to create the products in such a way that the content can just be forklifted into whatever persistent implementation the customer wants. So I think it's a huge opportunity for us. Just in the early stages of what we've been seeing. Even today, we've got customers who have bought a license for Clarity, as an example. They're also using Clarity SaaS, because it's going to take them 2 months to do the full on-site implementation. So they're building content and getting value out of the product right away. And then they're going to take the content, move it over, and they'll cancel their on-demand contract, or they'll pass the baton to perhaps another group who wants to do an. It offers tremendous flexibility and almost instant time to value. So we're being very careful and selective about what products we offer in that fashion. Honestly, can't do data center automation as a service. I mean, I know the guys that love to, but come on, we have to be practical here. There are some things that you have. If you've got an on-premise data center, you gotta put a bunch of tools in the data center to run. It's just, but are there things that can be done? Can you build an identity infrastructure and deliver identity services that way? Yeah, I think you can. In fact, I know you can. So I think it's a huge opportunity, and so do a lot of other people in the company, and we're doing kind of all of the behind the scenes work. We've made a few announcements. You're going to see more, but the important thing is we're being really careful about it. We're not going to put products out there that again bifurcate or create architectural problems for us down the road. We're also not going to put products out there just because we can. got to be a market for it, and we've got to be able to see the, sort of the full package, the full potential opportunity. So there's 2 or 3 ways to accommodate that. The first is in a fully multi-tenant environment. Typically, you can pass an audit. So if a customer wants to come in and audit the SaaS implementation, send their auditors in, very often, and we've seen this in a number of cases now, the auditors will go back and go, you know what, we're fine with this because all of the right things are in place relative to how the data is partitioned, how it's protected, etc. The other alternative is an opportunity to move the data on premise for the customer. So, it's a little bit of extra kind of roundabout traffic and all, but if they want, if that's the problem, then there is no problem. We'll figure out a way to host the data on premise, and then they don't have to think about it being somewhere off in the cloud or at a service provider or whatever. So there are ways around it, but the simplest and easiest thing is just audit. And if the auditors are good to go.